Tune in again at 11 a.m. with Ask for AFTAB for more of your local news. For now, though, it's time for Jordan Gardner's Vinyl Revival.
You're listening to Planet Radio Live, available online and around the world. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Vine for the day's latest updates.
Magic it is. Vinyl Revival.
Good morning and welcome to Planet Radio on Thursday the 7th of May. That was a classic from the archive of Oasis Classics. It's the Master Plan. Welcome to the new show, aptly named Vinyl Revival. That song is going to set the theme for the rest of the show, because there's going to be a selection of B-sides and rare vinyls played on the show, and I guess that's what sets it apart from the rest. So coming up, I'll be exploring the history of the B-side and why musicians choose to leave some extremely good songs off their albums. I'll be showing you the first ever song the Beatles recorded as teenagers, and I've been speaking to the owner of a vinyl shop in Huddersfield, where we discuss the most collectible vinyls. And who knows, you may have one lying around in the deepest, darkest corner of your attic. But first, let me remind you how you can get involved with Planet Radio. We're on Twitter at Planet Huds. We also have our Instagram page fully operational that you can go and follow at Planet Radio Huddersfield, all lowercase. And the same goes for our Facebook page too, that's also Planet Radio Huddersfield. And before any of that, here's the extremely groovy cover by Beautiful South of Womack and Womack's hit, Love Wars. Enjoy, it's certainly a toe tapper. And that leads me on to my next point. Just why do musicians leave these tracks off the albums and only release them as such much forgotten tracks, hiding behind the single? I found out just as much as I could for the reasoning behind this. Now following on from that, I want to take you way back to 1958, when a group of teenagers going by the name of the Quarrymen, you might know them now, were starting to write their own music. Little did they know, they would change music history forever. I'm talking, of course, about what became the biggest band the world has ever known in the Beatles. But what I'm wondering is how many people have actually heard what is widely considered to be their first ever recorded song. Before I give it a play, let me just set the scene. So it's believed to have been recorded on Saturday the 12th of July 1958. That's just 3 days before the death of John Lennon's mother. It was recorded at a home studio in Liverpool and cost 17 shillings and 6 pence. That's the equivalent of just 87.5 pence in today's day and age. And the song was recorded on a 78 revolutions per minute acetate vinyl, which ceased to be used just a few years later. Despite the song's history, and the fact the original recording, now owned by Paul McCartney, is valued at £100,000, making it the most expensive vinyl in music history, the Beatles never did record an album version of the song, and there it remains in its original format forever. Here it is, courtesy of YouTube. Now, she isn't falling down any stairs today because she's on my show. It's Madonna and Ain't No Big Deal. This was released as a B-side to True Blue single in 1981. I'm here with Matt Scully in the shop Vinyl Tap, which is in the centre of Huddersfield near the train station. So first of all, it only comes around once a year, but April saw the return of Record Store Day. Could you explain to me what that is first, and what you did to prepare for it?
Record Store Day started, I believe, in about 2009 or 2010. We took part in the very first one. It's a day designed entirely about promoting independently owned record shops. Before the kind of current resurgence, it was kind of like a specialist thing. It was quite niche, and the clientele was fairly sort of selective. Record Store Day, I think, has played a really big part in re-establishing vinyl with across the board with a lot of people. It's the ultimate format. Music's the most important thing, but vinyl, listening to a record, that is the best experience you can get of the music.
New Order and 1963. I want to take this opportunity now to remind you of what's following me here on Planet Radio Huddersfield.
You're listening to Planet Radio.
magic that is Vinyl Revival.